Junebug. Ganon looking alright, but ThundeRzReign definitely having a much easier time against his Ganon. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Giving him the Green Ranger.
Dude.
Oh! 0 to death, everybody.
Is
0
what NorCal is all about.
Emphatic combo. Beautiful.
The Gorilla of Legends.
All right, Dong expansion is on the way.
ThundeRzReign.
Dong expansion is imminent.
Yo. 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 This is the game.
Can you do that?
What you just watched, presented without comment, is what I like to call the pause heard round the world. This is FinalBOSS, the first major of 2016 for Project M, hosted in Northern California. The two players on screen are ThundeRzReign and Junebug. Let's start with Junebug. He's a top 3 player in the world. He just placed 2nd at the previous major that he attended, which was tipped off, and he is by far the number 1 seed of this tournament. He has breezed through winners finals, as expected, and is now facing off against ThundeRzReign, the player on the left. For people now, ThundeRzReign is a very well-known name, but back at the beginning of 2016, it was very reasonable to ask who even is ThundeRz. He's the number 1 player from Northern California, not a particularly notable region for PM, and his most notable placement at this time is having gotten 17th at Paragon Los Angeles. He's seeded 10th at this tournament. Not bad, but certainly not expected to do especially well, particularly at such a stacked event which has players like Sosa, Strong Bad, Stereo Kid, Hero of Time, I Punch Kids, Machiavelli, and the list goes on. And yet, he's in winners finals. And the reason that he's here isn't surprising because he's from NorCal, and NorCal isn't a great reason. It's surprising because ThundeRzReign plays Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong is considered widely to be one of the worst characters in the entire game. Junebug himself put out a tier list at the end of 2015, in which he put DK as the 3rd worst character in the cast. DK is heavy, he's easy to edgeguard, he's easy to combo, and he's not viewed as being a particularly strong character in a game where every character is more or less viable. DK is still viewed as being about as weak as it gets in Project M 3.6. But in order to get here, ThundeRz has pulled some pretty incredible upsets. He beat I Punch Kids, and then he beat Sosa, and now he's in winners finals against Junebug, where frankly this set has been a blowout so far. Junebug has gone up 2-0 with his signature Diddy Kong. Not particularly close games, and ThundeRz has barely even had a chance to hit Junebug, let alone display the explosive combo game that you just watched. But then, up 2-0, Junebug switches to Ganondorf. And this is a flex. He has no reason to switch. He's up 2-0, the first 2 games went great, but at the same time, his Ganondorf isn't a throwaway character. The last time we saw June's Ganon was in Grand Finals at Low Tier City 3, where Junebug won the set against Drinking Food and became the winner of that tournament. So his Ganon is very good, but it's probably a worse matchup. He's not going to have projectiles in order to keep ThundeRz from getting in on him, and then ThundeRz does what we just watched. So let's break it down. ThundeRz, in this game 3, has a bit of a slow start. He's trading hits with Junebug, kind of starting to find a little bit of a momentum, and then he finally takes the first stock with a combo off of DK's very strong grab confirms. Then he combos Junebug to 92%. But he doesn't kill him. Instead, he leaves him in the air on the left side of the stage, and he retreats. He gives Junebug plenty of room as he wave lands back, letting Junebug land with a falling back air, and raw punches him in the face. It's a hard call out, where Junebug is being given the opportunity to take the ledge or drift back off stage and then try to find his way back on stage. And ThundeRz waits, and he lets Junebug throw out the option that every player wants to throw out when they've been getting comboed from 0 to 92. You just want to land and come down with a hitbox, and ThundeRz kills him for it. And then Junebug comes down 2 stocks, and he gets grabbed. And ThundeRz 0 to deaths him. And I want to note here, the pause that makes this moment so iconic, let's take a look at the players again. ThundeRz is player 1. This pause was initiated by Junebug in sheer disbelief as to the fact that he's on the verge of getting four-stocked by a Donkey Kong in Winners Finals. ThundeRz goes on to win this game, and then, as you might expect, Junebug says, maybe let's not play Ganon, and he goes back to Diddy Kong. And then he counterpicks ThundeRz to Final Destination, with no platforms for him to use to get around Diddy's strong projectile game. But the downside of Final Destination is that there's nowhere to escape getting juggled by Donkey Kong. And ThundeRz wins another game, this time against Junebug's Diddy Kong, his main. And Junebug does go on to win this set. He does win Game 5, and then in a Game 5 rematch in Grands, he goes on to win the tournament. But nobody really cares that Junebug won this tournament, because Junebug was far and away the number 1 seed going in. It's impressive, sure, but all eyes are on ThundeRz here. In Grands, he puts up another great fight against Junebug's Diddy Kong, displaying an explosive combo game and inherent understanding of neutral that people are not expecting from the top player in a pretty bad region playing one of the worst characters in the game. And nobody really knows how to react. There is a debate that kind of begins and then quickly dies down about maybe DK is better than we imagined, this character has a very strong combo game, he's pretty fast, and that's immediately shouted down. No. ThundeRz is just this good. He's actually just able to play Donkey Kong and outplay people playing top tier characters and who are among the best in the world, like Junebug and Sosa, with a character who's bottom 5. Later on in the PM meta, after ThundeRz goes on to become one of the best players, this debate will change. Late PM tier lists have Donkey Kong moving up from bottom 5 all the way to middle and even high tier. But at the time, DK is still bottom 5. ThundeRz is considered to be just that good. And going into the rest of 2016, the question then becomes, is this player going to continue to do this? Or were people just not ready for Donkey Kong? Was Junebug not taking him seriously and not prepared to camp him the way that you would traditionally expect to beat a heavy grappler type character in PM? Who knows? But this was the most explosive start to 2016 that anyone could have asked for, and that absolutely no one expected. This is a tournament hosted in NorCal, and ThundeRz has the home court advantage. But still, the crowd is flabbergasted by what they're watching. Because ThundeRz just went to town on one of the best players in the world. And nobody, including both of the players on the screen, is really sure how to react. And just like we talked about in our last video, with South pulling this incredible upset over Professor Pro, it seems like suddenly the gap between the top players in the world and everyone else is slowly shrinking. Even though, unlike that last video, the person who's the focus didn't win the set, ThundeRz would get double eliminated by Junebug without winning a set, and he would play second at FinalBOSS. But he was seeded 10th. He wasn't even supposed to be in top 8, let alone in Winners Finals. And here he is. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see ThundeRzReign again as we continue this series.